All right, so now in this instructional, we're moving on to Palgwe Chil, or the 7th Palgwe form. This is actually one of my instructor's favorite forms. So let's bow it in. How about your perspective? Jumbi. Okay? Kunye. Jumbi. Then I'm going to slide forward on the left foot as I execute a double low block. Front snap kick, double outside middle block. Front snap kick, high X block, come into a side kick, back down into a back stance with a double pseudo. So I turn in, I do my side kick, I try to hold the foot up, come down into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. Then I'm going to do a 270-degree turn into a back stance with an outside middle block. Slide the foot over and execute a high punch, high block. Side kick, back into a back stance with a low double pseudo. Slide the foot over into a front stance, reverse punch. So we're going to do a 180-degree turn to the right and do the same thing the other side. We're going to do a back stance with an outside middle block. We slide the foot over and execute a high punch, high block, side kick, down into a back stance with low double pseudo. Slide the foot over in a front stance, reverse punch. Then I'm going to do a 90-degree turn to the left as I do a low X block, a high X block. I pull it back to my hip, come up with a high punch, spin all the way around 360 and do like a low hammer fist. Come up, single outside pseudo, turn it over, inside crescent, elbow smash, and then I jump back into a back stance like this mountain block. Jump back into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. Slide the foot over, punch ki. Be it. Tricky part of this form is that 360 turn. So again, I start out, I go into a left front stance with a low double block. Front snap kick, double middle block. Front snap kick, high X block. Side kick, come down into a back stance, middle double pseudo. Then I'm going to do a 270-degree turn into a back stance with a single outside maki. Slide the foot over as you do a reverse high punch, high block. Side kick down into a back stance with double pseudo. Slide the foot over back into a front stance, reverse punch. You do a 180-degree turn to the right, do the same thing to this side. So you're in a back stance with a single outside maki. Slide the foot over, reverse high punch, high block. Side kick, come down into a back stance with a low double pseudo. Slide the foot over, reverse punch. Then I come to do a 90-degree turn to the left into a front stance with a low X block, a high X block. Then I pull my hands back to my side. And I spin all the way 360 as I do a low hammer fist. Come up with a pseudo, turn it over, inside crescent kick, elbow smash. And then I'm going to jump back with this mountain block. And I think I said last time it was a back stance, but this is actually a horse stance or a side stance. Then you're going to jump back into a back stance with a double pseudo. Then you're going to slide the foot over, reverse punch. Okay. So very important before I do it from the judge's perspective. When you're here and you've done this elbow smash, you're going to stay in this horse stance or this side stance, and you're just going to take a kind of a step back as you do a mountain block. And then when you take your second step back, that's when you come into a back stance. From the judge's perspective. So I'm just going to step forward into a front stance as I do a double low block. Do a front snap kick followed by a double outside middle block. Do a front snap kick followed by an X block. Side kick, come down into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. 270-degree turn into a back stance with a single outside maki. You're going to slide your foot over into front stance as you do a high punch, high block. Come into a side kick. Come down into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. Slide your foot over, reverse punch. Do a 180-degree turn to the right, do the same thing. So you're into a back stance with an outside middle block. Slide your foot over, high punch, high block. Then you're going to execute a side kick into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. Slide that foot over into a front stance, reverse punch. Then we're going to do a 90-degree turn to the left into a front stance with a low X block, followed by a high X block. And you pull the hands back to the side. Execute a high punch. Then you spin that 360. Do the low hammer fist. Pseudo, open the hand, inside crescent, elbow, and then you're going to jump back into a mountain block. Jump back into a back stance with a middle double pseudo. Slide your foot over, punch. Up. B. Jet. And yay. Okay. So again, mountain block. You're either in a horse stance or a side stance. When you go back into the double pseudo, you're now into a back stance. So go practice that one.